Hey guys, Wes here. Well, it's been quite a few months since I did my first record collecting update. Been watching a bunch of others lately and got inspired to get back into doing this. I've been doing a lot of collecting over the past month since that last video. So I can't show you everything I've got since then, but I went through and picked through and just picked out some randomness and stuff I thought I would want to talk about. So let's get into it real quick. Got a bunch to go through here. First thing is I got the Kingston Trio sold out. This kind of just represents that I'm trying to collect the entire discography of the Kingston Trio. It's one of those groups that I like, and they're really easy to find in thrift stores. I guess they sold a lot, and not a lot of people like them anymore, so it's one of those groups that's easy to find, and so I got that. Been buying a bunch of those lately. I got this pretty weird one. It's called Stan Kenton Adventures in Time. It's a challenging exploration of unusual time signatures. Listen to this. It's pretty neat, actually. I really enjoyed this, actually. It's interesting music. Got a classic here, Carole King's Tapestry. Something I didn't have. Picked it up cheap at a thrift store. Just the classic ZZ Top here. Picked this up at a garage sale recently. It's titled is Eliminator. I'm a car guy, so I like ZZ Top. Another interesting thing I found at a thrift store recently is this Paul Hardcastle. It's mid-80s electronic music. It's pretty interesting stuff. Very experimental type stuff. Didn't have very much commercial success here in the States, but he's fairly popular in the UK apparently. But it's an interesting listen. I got a copy of Surfer Girl by the Beach Boys. The sleeve on this is pretty good, the jacket, but unfortunately the record itself is pretty scratched up. So it was cheap. It was like a quarter or 50 cents at the library sale they have here. So I picked it up. Be good as wall art if anything else. The same sale also picked up this Rolling Stones. It's a Greatest Hits Volume 2 or Big Hits Volume 2. I usually don't buy a Greatest Hits album because I'm looking for deep tracks. I've heard all the hits before, but I thought this was really neat how they had the corners cut off like this, and is a gatefold. But yeah, I thought that was pretty neat, so I picked it up. I think it was 50 cents or 75 cents. Next we have here Cyndi Lauper, and this one is I don't know if you can see that, but it is a promo copy. It's called She's So Unusual. This one has Girls Just Want to Have Fun, Time After Time, and All Through the Night, those popular songs. Next we have here, it's called Volunteer Jam 6. It's Charlie Daniels Band put this on some sort of live concert and got a bunch of other musicians to join in. And it's a 2-record set, looks pretty interesting. I like Charlie Daniels, and I got a copy of John Fogerty's Centerfold. Just thought I would give it a try. I've never heard one of his solo albums, so this one was pretty easy to find. Picked it up at the book sale again and give that a try. Next we have here is John Barry's soundtrack to Goldfinger. It's one of my favorite Bond films. I just thought it'd be neat to maybe collect some Bond soundtracks. So I picked that up at the book sale as well. This next one is something I've been looking for a long time. One of the first records I ever got was Belafonte at Carnegie Hall, and this is his follow-up concert, and I've been looking for it, and just never found it. But here it is. The jacket's in pretty poor shape, but the records are in good shape inside, so I mainly bought this to listen to, so it's going to be a good one to listen to. I haven't even gotten to listen to it. I'm waiting for a special time when I really feel like it's going to be fun to listen to. Next thing we have here is George Winston's December. This is his quasi-Christmas album, I guess you could call it. Anyway, it has his version of Carol of the Bells, which is my favorite Christmas song, and his version of Carol of the Bells is my favorite version of Carol of the Bells, so I went ahead and picked this up. Really good pianist. Picked that up mainly for Carol of the Bells. Then I got this, the Electric Flag, a long time coming. I'm not even sure, I haven't listened to this yet. I'm not even sure what kind of music it is. It looks like some prog rock type music, but looked interesting, so I picked it up. It was kind of expensive. It was $2.50, but I mean, $2.50, it's still cheap. Can't even buy a burger for that much hardly. Next we have here some soundtrack to Iron Eagle. It's, you know, a cheesy 80s movie. They were trying to capitalize on the popularity of Top Gun, I think, with this movie, but I was 8 or 9 years old when this movie came out, so it was pretty popular movie at the time. I remember it. I remember enjoying it. Next we have here is Quincy Jones explores the music of Henry Mancini. Quincy Jones is an excellent jazz musician, and usually pick up stuff of his that I see. I got a few other things of his I picked up recently, but this is just something I picked up. It looked interesting. And then next we have Ahmad Jamal, Standardize. I'm a big fan of Ahmad Jamal. He's one of my favorite jazz musicians. And this is just one. I picked up a few others of his as well. One of the artists I'm trying to collect more of. Like I said before, I'm a big fan of Harry Belafonte, and here is a Christmas album by Harry Belafonte, which I did not even know existed until I found it in a thrift store. And so it's pretty neat. I'm glad I found that. It's in good shape. And next we have Joan Baez in Concert, Volume 1 and Volume 2. I was really pleased to find these. I found them in a thrift store as well. They're 3 for $1 or whatever. And they're in pretty good condition. And I have listened to one, and I'm saving up to listen to number 2 until I really feel like I need to listen to something fresh and that I know is going to be really good. But I really enjoyed number 1. Another group that I'm collecting is more folk music. I love folk music, and this is Brothers 4, Best Music On and Off Campus. And this is a live album. This is their 3rd album. It's another one I'm collecting. I bought a bunch more Brothers 4 besides this one. And next we have Rita Coolidge. I don't know much about this, but it's a pretty common album. I thought I'd give it a try, see what it's all about. Next we have the Isaac Hayes Movement with Disco Connection. I thought this was kind of crazy. I didn't know Isaac Hayes got into disco, but I guess he did at some point. And this is it. And I haven't listened to it yet, but I guess we'll see what it's all about. Next we have Emerson, Lake and Palmer Works 2, Volume 2. I guess this is like a greatest hits type thing. I don't know Emerson, Lake and Palmer real well, so I guess I'm gonna give this a try and see what I think of them. And here's another Quincy Jones, The Dude. This is a later one. This is from the 80s. 81. Like I said, great jazz musician, and can't really go wrong with picking those up. We got Isley Brothers, Go For Your Guns. Looks like a live album. It's got some water damage, but it's the Isley Brothers. It's another group that I've heard a few songs, but I don't really know them that well. So I thought. So anyway, sorry about that. My memory card filled up. Picked this up new from Amazon.com. It was on clearance, and I thought I'd give them a try. I'm not too impressed with their shipping service when it comes to vinyl. This was shoved into a box that was too small sideways, and then there was one of those bubble packages shoved in on top of this, and the box was closed, so it was pressing down on this, and there's actually a big crease here, there's a crease here. Luckily this didn't sit outside in the sun. I was here when it came, so it didn't warp the record inside, but it did damage the jacket. And so I'm not too impressed with buying vinyl from Amazon until they can work out some better packaging. I don't think I'm going to be ordering from them anymore. So I don't recommend that. If you're into vinyl, don't buy from Amazon. Buy from either a local place, or if you're going to buy online, buy from a reputable vinyl dealer that knows what they're dealing with and knows how to properly package them. Thanks for watching. Hopefully it won't be as long before the next video. I've been working on going through my entire collection and cleaning everything and putting everything in sleeves and organizing everything, so I want to get a better idea of what I have and what I'm missing and what condition is what I have, so when I'm out shopping I'll be able to better make decisions on what I'm buying. So that's kind of where I'm at, but I hope to make these videos more often, and thank you for watching. If you enjoy what you see, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and leave me a comment if you have any questions about anything, or if you know anything about any of these albums I showed off tonight. Thanks again for watching. I'm Wes. See you next time. Bye.